Hi, my name is EJ Massa. People call me Trash Boy because I eat nothing but trash. And that got me thinking, what if I cooked all my food in a trash can?
Enter the Pit Barrel Cooker Jr. It's a smaller version of the popular smoker, the Pit Barrel Cooker.
The gray is also smaller, being 14 inches instead of the original's 18 inches. And it's $70 cheaper than the original Pit Barrel Cooker at $230. The Pit Barrel Cooker is a unique smoker in that you hang meat on hooks to cook instead of just laying it down on a grill grate, although it does come with a grill grate if you want to do it. So why did I buy the Pit Barrel Cooker Jr. rather than the original size? Well, first off, I only cook for my immediate family, so I won't be cooking 8 racks of ribs anytime soon, because I don't have any friends. You can still cook a lot of food in it, and it uses less charcoal because you're heating up a smaller space than the original.
I personally won't be using the grill grate much because if I have a large piece of meat, I'll just cook it on my Weber grill with the slow and sear. The cooker comes in this handsome box. Welcome to the Barrelution. I hope that copywriter got a raise. Brilliant. Assembly is almost brain dead easy, as the whole thing is just a barrel. You just place the barrel on the included stand. The only real assembly here is screwing on the lid handle, which is really easy unless you're an idiot like me who takes way too long to assemble it while you're trying to film it. And you don't even have to run around looking for a toolbox, as a screwdriver and wrench are included.
Thank you, Pit Barrel Cooker Company. How'd you know my life was a f***ing mess?
So yeah, it comes with a charcoal basket, a little grill grate, 2 rebar things to hang the meat on, 6 hooks, this little tool to pick up hot hooks, and it comes with samples of their rubs.
And that's all there is to it. It's only a matter of minutes from opening the box to full assembly. Then you can start cooking in no time. And you don't have much time.
Time is running out.
You have to adjust the bottom vent according to your elevation.
I'm in Boston and the sea is like right over there. So I'm pretty sure that I'm under 2,000 feet elevation. And that looks about what the picture looks like. And if I pull up an elevation map, yep, I'm not completely stupid.
The Pit Barrel Cooker boasts being more portable than the original, and it does fit very easily into my little sedan. So you can take it out to your family get-togethers or go out camping. Here it is next to my 22-inch Weber kettle for scale. One cool thing is you can hang the lid right on the side handles. Well, I thought it was cool.
So what meat should I try out in this thing first? Like you had any doubt, it's gonna be ribs! Oh no, more pig ghosts! Oh no!
I got some fresh baby back ribs, never frozen. I want to try out their all-purpose rub, and since it contains salt, I'm going to apply the rub the night before. The next day, I filled the charcoal basket to the brim with Kingsford Blue. The instructions say to take out about 1/4 of the charcoal and put it into a chimney to light, and I'm just eyeballing it here, and it seemed to be around 25 or 27 pieces of charcoal. I'll let those get ashed over using a tumbleweed fire starter. I'll line the bottom of the barrel with foil for easier cleanup of the ashes. I could have bought their optional ash catcher accessory, but I ain't made out of money. Although I did buy this overpriced grill cover because I like it when things match. I like it. And it's actually a pretty well made cover, so I don't feel that bad. Anyways, I pour the lit charcoal into the basket. Carefully lower it into the barrel and place the rebar into the slots. Then I put the lid on, and according to the instructions, we're going to let that come up to temperature for about 12 or 15 minutes. I'm sure that's also to make sure the Kingsford Blue burns off some more of those caustic flavors that can occur when you first light up the charcoal.
I'm not going to be using any smoking wood chunks this time because I want to see how it tastes with just the meat juices dripping onto the charcoals and the smoke coming up from that.
While that's going, I'm going to stab these hooks into the ribs and we'll place them right under the second rib on the thicker side. And then I'll hang them on the rebar and shut the lid.
I'm not going to be monitoring the temperature with a thermometer. I'm just going to have faith. I'm going to step back and let the Pit Barrel Cooker do its thing. It's not like the Weber Smoky Mountain where you always want to tinker with the settings. Although you probably could if you want to. But I'm just going to use it as directed. It does want temperature around 275 degrees Fahrenheit to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere in that range. It's set it and forget it.
But honestly, it's hard to forget it with all those irresistible smells pouring out of it. It looks so cool smoking away. It'll definitely get people talking at a cookout. I left it alone for about 2 hours and wow, the color already looks great. But the tenderness didn't seem quite there yet, so I left it in for another 40 minutes. Now the meat has pulled back from the bones, and it looks fantastic. I can't get over how good the color looks on these. A nice deep red. On one of them I slathered on some Sweet Baby Ray, and the other one I left on sauce so I could taste the underlying rib. And wow, the bark on that is so crispy and delicious. The rub really enhances the flavor of the rib itself without adding too many crazy flavors. Just some subtle saltiness, sweetness, and garlic flavor.
The flavor of the meat is very interesting. It's unique. It's much different from the indirect heat source kind of smoking. It's not necessarily better or worse, you just have to be into that kind of flavor. I think because the smoke came from the juices hitting the charcoal, that smokiness really complemented the meat very well.
Not saying I'd prefer it over like an oak smoke flavor, but it's different. I will say that I definitely eat ribs prepared this way over and over again. I mean, look at this beautiful thing. Look at it! It was nice and pink from the smoke, and I think I may have cooked it a tad too long because it was almost too tender.
But my wife prefers it that way, so I scored some points there. I did something okay. It's important to note that I was hovering around freezing that day, and it performed extremely well in that temperature. It didn't seem to affect cooking time, and the ribs cooked fairly fast.
Cleanup was super easy, just grab the foil and any remaining ash. I just picked up the whole cooker and dumped it into the trash can. Next, I decided to make a whole organic chicken in the cooker.
Chicken is nature's candy, don't you know? Candy that has blood and bones. It's my favorite kind of candy.
And to cook this chicken, I'll use this optional turkey hanger that's sold separately.
For seasoning, I'm gonna go simple because I want to see how the cooker affects the chicken's flavor.
I'll pour some olive oil on it, sprinkle on some kosher salt, garlic powder, and some fresh ground pepper. Then I'll shove this weird hanger in the top here, and there. Now I can hang this chicken without stabbing it with hooks. I set up the pit barrel as before, and you have to make sure to remove one of the rebar to place the chicken inside, and then replace the rebar. And there, it'll have its smoky slumber. Good night, sweet chicken prince. Good night. After an hour and a half, I checked the temp, which was around 135 in the breast.
It was very, very windy that day, which did seem to slow down the cooking. So on a cold day, it performed fine, but on a windy day, you may have to cook longer.
After 2 hours and 40 minutes, the chicken was done at 170 degrees in the breast. The color looks great, and let me cut a small piece of the breast, and this is some of the best chicken I've ever made. It's juicy and smoky in a way that accentuates the flavor of the chicken.
The skin was a little rubbery, it didn't get as crisp as I wanted, so next time I, 1, won't do it on a windy day, 2, I'm going to try drying out the skin overnight, and 3, maybe cracking the lid a bit at the end of the cook so that the temperature rises and that'll maybe crisp that skin up real nice. Next time I try that, I'll let you know how it goes.
I tried a wing as well, and oh man, so good.
So what do I think of this cooker? Well, for me, it's amazing. I only cook for my family, so I don't need the bigger version.
I'm super impressed with the build quality, the simple setup, and how easy it is to make really delicious food without any tinkering. I also like that it has a smaller footprint for my tiny porch, and it'll complement my Weber kettle perfectly.
I'm very impressed with it, and I didn't get this for free or anything. This is just my pure, unadulterated opinion of the device. But is it the cooker for you? Well, it's a bit of a one-trick pony, but to be fair, it is a very, very awesome trick, and it's totally worth the price of the pony. If you want something a little more versatile and dial in your temperatures and tinker around, you can get the Weber Smoky Mountain for a pretty similar price.
The pit barrel cooker does have the ease of use on its side, and it's a great conversation starter.
If you want a little bit of a bigger grill grate size, or if you're cooking for a whole army, then you might want to consider getting the bigger version. But I fully recommend this one, and I'm going to keep trying out recipes, and I'll continue to give my opinion on it. In fact, there's a recipe to make smoky mac and cheese on this thing, so I think that might be an occasion to get jumped back on this show. And wouldn't that be fun? Anyways, until next time, bye.